Hey Truth Seekers, it's Carolyn, and I'm here going to show you the profile I made for my Breanna, Hope, and Universal deck. So I have Breanna up here. Since I'm kind of mainlining Hope in this particular build, however, she's just a better Truth Seeker for this. It's supposed to be kind of mainlining Universal, but it just works itself out to where there are more Hope than there are Universal. So I have 4 Hope power cards and I have 3 fasting in the deck. Since I can only have 3 fasting, otherwise I would have 4. Beginning us off, I start with Infinifish. So in this particular build, Infinifish is great. And so I run 2 copies. I did only run 1 copy the other day when we were playtesting, and 2 copies just seems to make more sense in this particular deck. Just being able to get those extra cards is just really nice. I have 3 Schwimmer. He gets me my power cards, and so that beautiful, lovely action on him allows me to get a standard power card and place it directly into the power pool. And so he's really great to get with, say, Profess Hair, and you can go get like Infinifish, so you can use him, go get the power card, and then use this one, you know, for more points. It's just really nice. I run 3 Auroras. Also, wonderful card to be using in this particular build. There we go. Now we're a little bit more clear. Sorry about that. So again, Professor is great to go grab these Auroras. So it's really nice. And these act as a power card when in my small group. I run 2 Profess Hair. Profess Hair is great because I get to search my deck for up to 2 level 1 Animo and place them into my small group if space is provided. So it's really nice. I just really like this card, and in this deck with all these little one cost ones, it's just really nice. I run 2 So Crow level 1, which draws me a card, and 2 So Crow level 2, which allow me to shuffle my hand back and go for more cards. I have 2 Percy level 1 and 2 Percy level 2. This card allows me to search my deck for any 2 cards and place them in my hand, whereas the level 1, the ability is that when this card is played from your hand into your small group, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck, take 1, and return the rest in any order. So really helpful cards to not only get me points, but also it gets me the cards that I need to see for my win condition. Moving along, I have 2 Quillo level 1 and 2 Quillo level 2. So the Quillo level 2 allows me to search my deck for any 1 story card and 1 hope power, reveal them, and put them into my hand. So it doesn't go directly into my power pool, but it sets me up for my next turn, which is really nice. And then moving on to my lovely universals here, I have 3 Mercifier, and I have the foil Mercifier from the Bible Verse Challenge. And he allows me to basically exchange himself for a card in my deck with a victory point of 7 or less. So I can trade him out and get some of my level 1s that I may need. So if I've drawn into a level 2 and him, I'm able to go get my level 1 that I need and grow it. So I run 3 Prayer Group, which Prayer Group in this deck build is amazing. Using those fasting, I can use all 3 of my fasting if I have them out, and then I can use Hope Power to fill in those extra 6, and I can get 18 points with a single card, single Animo. So Prayer Group is great. I run a single Elf Lux Ultra. I did go ahead and change this out a little bit. I run him just because he's my victory condition for my Universal, which is really nice. And secondarily, I run Mercifier Ultra as a second win condition. He costs 1 more, but I can still just use 2 fasting for him, and he gets me more points. So I like having him in there. Since I have the other Mercifier, it just makes sense. And then my final Ultra is Flow. Flow sets me up for basically any turn, anything that I need her to. Flow is just utility. Moving on to story cards, I have a single runaway. Select any Animo from your discard pile and return it to your hand. I have a Peter's Vision. Search your deck for one level 1 Animo and exchange it with one Animo from your small group and any attached equipment and shuffle your deck. So you get to exchange things, which is really nice. It's also really helpful with things like Paul's Chains if you want to see it again, but you need to get it out of your small group for the moment. Really nice. I use Beautiful Gate. I can either remove a hindrance card from an active Cine or ignore the effects from the active Cine's ability for the turn. I have 2 fishing nets. Draw 2 cards, or if it was the last card in your hand, I get to draw 4. I have 2 Rich Fool. The Rich Fool allows me to draw the bottom 3 cards of my deck. I have 2 Paul's Chains. Extremely helpful, not only to get me more Animo that I need, but also it allows me to exchange things from my deck if from my small group if I need to. So if I have something that's just kind of sitting there clogging it up and I don't have the right power out there, I can use this, get 2 more Animo out there, and then discard the one that this one's attached to. Because this deck is very hope heavy, I have 2 gold, and so a lot of the hope have a return cost on your hope power. This eliminates that and just leaves them in your power pool. I run 3 of our lovely Broken Jar, which it can be attached to either one of my Universal or my Hope, and it gets me more points. So it acts kind of similar as an extra Animo without clogging up your small group. And then finally, moving on to our Cine's, I use Flipper, which is the smallest and equally largest Cine I run in this deck. I have Judgeweed, which says, as long as this Cine is active, your opponent may not reveal Cines. I have Grump Roast, so as long as this Cine remains active, your opponent may have no more than 3 Animo in their small group at a time, and they have to discard down to 3 if there are more than that when you reveal it. I run Zapper King because this is a game stopper. Your opponent may not play any level 1 Animo from their hand on their next turn. I have Globster. As long as the Cine remains active, your opponent must discard the top card of their deck before their turn begins. Ba Bubble. As long as this card remains active, your opponent may not have more than 1 Animo of the same name in their small group. And then finally, our pseudo mega, I have Grumble. He is a 13 and he's just very big and I really like the big ones. But since I have 3 ultras, I cannot use a mega in this deck. So that is the build for our Breanna, Hope, and Universal.